So there's a new crypto scam that appears to be going quite viral. Now, this is going to be different from a series that I'm starting where I'm going to be discussing different hacking techniques and things that you can do to protect yourself against crypto theft and exposing your private keys, your passwords, and other verifiable and personable data. But today we're talking about specifically a technique that's been going viral, and there's people that have lost millions and millions of dollars, which is called address poisoning or address spoofing. So what's interesting about this, and I'm going to go over the details of how it works and basically what's been happening, but in 2024 alone, there's a story of someone that actually lost $68 million worth of crypto assets because they fell for this scam. Now, luckily, once they got it reported to the police and different agencies, this scammer actually ended up returning all of it because they could feel the heat and they knew that they were in big trouble. But what this does basically with the address poisoning or scamming is this is usually prevalent on the Ethereum blockchain, and it's also prevalent on the BNB blockchain. So let me ask you guys, have you ever received a spam token or a spam NFT or something to your wallet address that you didn't ask for, you don't know who it's from, you're wondering how it got there? This is a technique that people have been using where they will have an address, a custom vanity Ethereum address. And as we know, all Ethereum and BNB addresses start with 0x and then a series of letters and numbers after that. So what really happens is they will find your specific address on the blockchain, or perhaps that you have it in a forum, or they'll check any other sort of history to see where your public address is or your public. And what they'll do is they will copy identically to your address, say the first 9 characters and then the last 9 characters, and maybe just change 1 or 2 characters in the middle, which most people today, when they go to copy and paste their address, either from a transaction history or from their wallet, they don't read the entire wallet address because it's between 35 to 45 characters in some cases. So what they'll usually do is just verify that the last 6 characters match or the 5 characters match, and just verify both of those and not check the full address in the middle, and verifying that everything matches identically. Now, this is due to people just thinking, okay, the last couple of digits or characters match, I'm just going to copy and paste and send it. Well, scammers are getting more sophisticated, and they know most people are lazy, or they overlook it, or simply they just don't think that it can possibly happen to them. So the moral of the story, or the purpose of this video, is to, one, bring awareness to this scam that's going insane. It's happening to a lot of people. Even a few of my friends have had this happen before, luckily with just small amounts, but you really want to verify every character in the address that you're sending to, because what happens in this particular case is they will put it in your transaction history. So they'll spoof you, they'll send you a small token or a small NFT, they'll have the address that looks almost identical to yours, maybe 1 or 2 digits off, and then you'll copy and paste that by accident and then send them coins to that address, thinking that it's from you. And this has been quite effective in people just because they're not verifying all the characters of their address or where they're sending to. And scammers or phishers, in this particular case, address spoofing or address poisoning is becoming a common thread. And like I said, they just target people in different forums, on different blockchains, making sure that they can create addresses, and then they just spam a bunch of people. And even if they get one, it's usually worth their while. But in this case, this person lost $68 million worth of their crypto to this particular scam. So I wanted to bring it up to you, and I'm going to give you a synopsis of exactly what this is to make sure that it's perfectly clear and what you can do to watch out for it. Address poisoning or address spoofing is a deception trick where scammers send a small amount of digital assets to a wallet that closely resembles the potential victim's address to make it part of the wallet's transaction history, hoping that the victim will accidentally copy and send the funds to this address. Now again, this is very simple. The mechanics of it are simple, but they're aware that most people kind of just don't verify, and they're not scrutinizing every character in their wallet address and being very very careful when they send to a particular address, or they copy someone else's address thinking it's yours. So make sure that if someone sends you a spam token or whatever, make sure that you completely do not interact with that address in any case whatsoever. You know, people are sending it to because these addresses look almost identical, and they just check the first 5 and 6 or the last 5 and 6 and they think they're good. This is a growing threat and a growing trend. I've definitely had spam coins and tokens sent to my public address. I'm well trained in the art of making sure that I never quickly send a transaction. I always check every character. I double check, triple check, and in some cases I have someone else check just to be sure. But I'm always extremely vigilant and extremely careful when I'm sending to an address that it's unknown or potentially looks almost identical to mine. Now, there's another case that's happened where affiliates in the crypto space will say, okay, send me a payment to this wallet address. It'll be 1 digit off. And if you have your private or public wallet address rather submitted for payment, someone could go in there and change 1 digit and you won't receive the payment. This has also happened in the past. It almost happened to me several years back, but again, just being extra careful, being extra vigilant and trusting yourself and knowing that there's the right steps. Always check and verify your address and make sure that you're not just copying and pasting things off of your transaction history, just thinking that maybe, okay, this is mine. The first part looks good. The last part looks good. You know, it's in the transaction history, so I know that I've used it. Don't do that anymore. Just be extra careful. Take your time. Do not laissez-faire just copy and paste something that looks like it's good or looks like it's yours. Just be extra careful. That's what I can tell you. And there's other things that can help with this, like Unstoppable Domains had a service where you could shorten and customize, you know, a readable wallet address. And there's different ways, you know, with like Coinbase Wallet and some other third-party wallets where you can basically assign your alphanumeric public wallet address and use a shortcut version of it. I've done that a few times, but I'm still old school. I like having the verification of everything that I'm doing and verifying character to character. One tip that I can recommend for you is copy the full address in Notepad, copy the other address in Notepad, and then you can line by line, right above each other, see if anything mismatches. And if it does, you'll know that someone, and it's usually just 1 or 2 characters off, then you'll know that someone is trying to get you. And unfortunately, more and more people are being careless and not double and triple checking the addresses that they're sending to or giving their information out unknowingly. So a few other videos that I'm working on that are going to be tying into other scams and other ways that hackers can gain access to your funds. A lot of this has to do with what I talked about in the last video. I discussed social engineering, phishing, other things that people are falling prey and victim to. And if you go and check that video, in summary, there's ways to protect yourself. Multi-step ways, and ultimately keeping your funds on a hardware wallet to where you're not easily being duped and you're not easily getting your personal details, including your private key, leaked online. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up about this. It's called address poisoning or address spoofing. I'll leave a link in the description that kind of goes over this in detail if that helps, as well as how people are actually creating these vanity ETH addresses. So you can actually customize your own ETH address. And like I said, what they'll do is they'll just automatically generate it 1 to 2 digits off, and that's how they get you. Be careful out there. I hope that I'm providing value on this channel, and please comment down below. Let me know what kind of content that you guys want in the future. And also let me know if there's something that you want answered in depth, and I'll dive into it for you guys. And then in the meantime, if you don't want to wait for my next video, go ahead and click right here. And until next time, Crypto Renegade out.